So my name is Leonila, and I am from SG Recruitment. I would like to welcome everyone. Okay, so I'm currently the marketing and recruitment manager, and I'm working for SG Recruitment for the last 4 years now. The company has been established 8 years ago. Okay, so I'd like to assure each and everyone that you are in good hands, as we are a legit company or recruitment company or agency, and our how we differ from the rest is we guide you, okay, step by step, and from A to Z. I mean, we offer a complete package starting from training up to deployment and processing the visa of your family, because you can come together with your family. Again, good afternoon. So I have with me, let me just welcome once again Miss Anna, Mr. Saheb, Mr. I think this is Mr. ABH. Are you Mr. Abdullah? Is that his name? Correct me if I'm wrong. And Miss Marcina. Okay, thank you for joining me today. Okay, so I would like to request everyone's cooperation to be on mute. But if you have questions, even though I'm in the middle of the discussion, feel free to raise your hand or just use the chat room for your questions, so I can be able to see them. And if I see it, then I would be able to answer it. Okay, even at the time that I am doing the discussion. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull up the presentation for today. So let us make this fast, so that we can be able to accommodate. So we'll have time for question and answers, okay? Because I understand how important it is for everyone. And yes, you can continually invite your friends, okay? Nurses or midwives, they can join us. This is anyway free, because we would want to be able to really help you, and of course to avoid confusion. And as I always say, we will not leave you groping in the dark. We don't want that to happen to our nurses and midwives applicants. Okay, so now what you are seeing is the topic for today's discussion. It is, are you able to see it, by the way? Can someone confirm that they're able to see my screen? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. So how to become a registered nurse in the UK. So this is basically what we are going to discuss, and the question that I will answer for each one of you. All right. So what you are seeing is the the website, okay, of our company. If you want to check us in the website, okay, just go to, or just type in the www.sg/recruitment.com. Our email address is info@sgrecruitment.com. But if you want to send your CV directly to me, okay, it would be faster as well. leonila.delarosa@sgrecruitment.com. Okay, and I'm always available in WhatsApp. I have other number, but this is the number that I use most of the time. Okay, the 0526407619. And with or without my permission, you can go ahead and share that to all friends or colleagues, okay, who happens to be nurses and midwives, okay, for them to be able to get the information that they need if they are keen on pursuing their career to the United Kingdom. Okay, so let me just give a brief introduction about the SG Recruitment. First, S stands for Sumner. This is actually the family name of the owner of the company, Sumner, and they are UK nationals. And G stands for group, R stands for recruitment. Okay, we also have SGT, and we have other names which I will tell you later. So we are a subsidiary of the Sumner Group, and we are working closely with our sister company, Sumner Group Health, a supplier of manpower, international nurses to the NHS, and also a supplier of PPE to the Department of Health and Social Care. So basically, what you could easily remember from SG Recruitment is that we are into um, supplying manpower, okay? Especially healthcare professionals, like, nurses, midwives, and now we started with senior carer, okay, to the UK. We also have our business in the Philippines, or company in the Philippines, called GHR Healthcare, and we are busy filling out the position for domestic workers and Qatar. We are actively recruiting domestic workers in Qatar and in Malaysia now. Okay, and yeah, welcome, Miss Emmy. There's one more applicant. Okay, who wish to join us. Welcome. Okay, to those who just joined. And SG Recruitment has sister companies, and our business basically is we provide training for OET or even Ielts, CVT. We provide a reviewer, and then OSCE, that would be in the UK, because we have our company in the UK. So basically, our company is situated or based in UK, London. You can see it in our Facebook account, the actual address of our UK office. We have a big office there, and we will be providing training for OSCE if we are already there, and of course, local recruitment for nurses in the UK. And of course, we manage interviews for our clients. We process visa not only for our nurses or midwives, and but also for the families of our applicants. Travel arrangement, of course, we are the one who are the one who is going to to apply for your visa. And for the accommodation, yes, we will arrange. It will be free arranged, because you will have a relocation package sponsored by our client. Could be an NHS trust, or it could be a private hospital or a home care facility. We are having partnerships with them. Okay, so basically these are the service that, of course, we can give you, sir. We can give you advice about setting up bank accounts in the UK as well. So for you not to be confused, okay, you will SG Recruitment has a different name. Okay, so in the Philippines, we are called or known as GHR Healthcare Recruitment. In the UK, Sumner Group Health Limited. We also have Green Sky Innovation here in United Arab Emirates. And of course, we have our training provider, Sumner Group Training and Assessment, or SGTI or SGT. And we also provide documentation service for our Filipino applicants, Sumner Documentation Service in the Philippines. So that's SG Recruitment, okay? I hope you won't be surprised if you are seeing me, making different posts. Maybe sometimes it's for the visa, maybe sometimes it's for the documentation or OET or IELTS or domestic workers. If it bears our name, the one that I have mentioned, you shouldn't be confused. We're just one company. Okay, so the first question that we have to answer, by the way, this is 82 slides. I have to run through everything, and if you have questions, I will not stop you. Like what I said, you are free to ask me questions, okay? And that would be fine. And once I see it, I'd be able to answer it right away. Okay, so why choose United Kingdom? And here we're going to discuss the benefits it is for you and for your family. Okay, so for this one, in UK, you have to know that your regular work hours per week is only 37.5, which is hours per week, which is equivalent to like a 3 days work schedule per week, with 8 weeks paid leave per year, which is not convertible into cash. Okay, so take note of that. And this is applicable for all NHS trusts. Even for private hospitals, they tend to copy all the our rules and benefits for a private hospital. NHS, by the way, stands for National Health Services, and it simply means government hospital, okay, in the United Kingdom. For the overtime, you are free to do it, okay, and in fact, you have up to 40 hours per week, even longer than your regular work hours, okay, in your company or in your hospital. Okay, so what does it mean? It just simply means that you will be given the freedom to earn more or to augment your income by doing overtime, so long as it is not on the same day that you're having your shift in your organization or the hospital that you are working for. There would be no issue. You have the liberty to do it. Okay, you are free to work for other organization, because in the UK, if you do that, they are paying you for the overtime. They're paying you double or triple your rate, because they don't have nurses of their own, and that is the reason why they are increasing the rate for they call it locum nursing or NHS bank shift. Yeah. So you would know that once you are there in the UK working. And what else? So for your sick leave, you are allowed for a full 6 months paid sick leave. Okay. However, if you are still sick, actually the same for married women on maternity leave, you will be paid for the full 6 months up to a year. It can be covered. Okay. So long as you have the proof that you are still not able to work. Okay. And if you are a father and you are working for an NHS trust, they will give you uh, up to 2 weeks paternity paid leave. Okay. If you are a nurse or whatever profession, if you are working for a government hospitals in the UK, that is the rule. Okay. That is one of the benefits that you can enjoy for working in an organization in the UK. Next, for the healthcare. So this will cover not just the nurse or the midwife, but the whole family, your spouse. You know it. You can bring your spouses. You can bring your children below 18 years of age. So they get covered with 100% free universal health care. Okay. So if you want to see a family doctor, it's free. Using an ambulance, it's also free. Education, this is really good for your children. Upon landing in the UK, you can just enroll them in a public school. It is absolutely free, and that is guaranteed. Okay, and the UK government also offers a student loan and personal allowance if they want, if you want to avail of it. So this is for primary and secondary. For the university education, children um, can be granted a loan by the UK government. And as a parent, you won't need to pay that, and because the government will wait for your children to be ready and to have a job of their own for them to be able to repay the government. Okay. For the housing and public transportation, it's very convenient because there are lots of options. Like they have tubes or trains. They have a taxi or cabs, and it's really very convenient. And for most of our applicants, they prefer living in a countryside because it is very easy for them to have a transportation or a car of their own to travel from one place to another. And if you are living in a countryside or working there, your expenses would be lesser as compared to you living in the city or near London. Okay, so car is not really a necessity because of the convenience of the transportation, but if you want to have it, that would be your choice. Okay, and I could easily afford it. Okay, so once again, going back to the benefits of the children, from birth until the age of 18, they receive monthly financial support from the government. For us international applicants, you have to wait until you had been granted your permanent residency status before your children could receive this monthly financial support from the government. Okay, so just an FYI, the eldest child gets £80. Just do the conversion. That would be a monthly allowance, and they will receive from the government. Succeeding children will receive 55 pounds per month. Okay. Now, if you're having a child with special needs, UK government will provide them with monthly disability living allowance, aside from the free special education and healthcare. Pension. Okay, for the pension, it's optional, but then of course that would be your decision. But in the UK, yes, they have this pension. Okay, and the early retirement age is 60 years old. Retirement age is 67 years old. So if you have friends, in fact, I'm having like inquiries, okay, from nurses who's over or above 50 years old, and they want to know if they can still, go to UK and work or pursue their nursing career, and the answer is yes. Okay. So for travels, of course, you could easily travel from one place to another or from one country to another. Okay, you could afford that. And of course, your passport would allow you to freely move from one country or from one place to another. Citizenship, this is for everyone. Okay, after 5 years or attaining your permanent resident status, UK is allowing UK is allowing dual citizenship. Okay. So once again, for those who just joined, we are conducting this free orientation about UK application process. So welcome. Now for nurses and midwives qualifications, okay. So let's have a look. First, for nurses. Just, okay, for those who just joined, I will have to request you to go on mute, or maybe I have to do it myself. Please do not go on mute unless you will ask me question. Okay, because we are in the middle of discussion. So going back, the qualification is that you must have your home country license. You must be registered as a nurse in your home country. You must be able to pass your OET or Ielts, and that is the purpose why I am conducting this orientation, for you to be able to be trained for OET or Ielts, because we don't want you to be failing OET or Ielts. This is really critical for you to get an employer, because as soon as you pass, we will request for your CV and for other documents, and we will put your application forward for employer's interview. All right, and we give full support when it comes to interview. Like, we are coaching every nurse for them to be able to ace their interview, because we understand that for most of you it could be first time for you to be interviewed by an employer. CVT stands for a computer-based test. We will discuss that later on. Okay, again, to those who just joined, I'd like to welcome you to our free orientation about UK application process for nurses and midwives, and we are discussing about the nurse qualifications. Okay, so this will be recorded and will be posted in our YouTube account, which is Leonila, your UKRN Cicerone. Okay, so you do have the option to keep your video off. Okay, because this is going to be used for training and marketing purposes for all our applicants. Okay, so CVT is a test of competence part 1, and you have to pass it. And with SG Recruitment, we'll give you our full support as soon as you enroll for OET. You or IELTS, you will be given the reviewer, the updated reviewer. And I would like to assure you that for computer-based tests, there's no one failing this exam. We have 100% pass rate. Okay, so there's really nothing for you to worry about. And in fact, with us, we will guide you to prioritize taking this exam, because it's valid for 2 years anyway. Same thing with OET and IELTS, because remember, as a nurse, you only need to complete 4 things. Okay, OSCE, you have to be in the UK before you could take the exam, and it's going to be full training. Okay, also for OSCE. So it should be you must have your home country license. Your OET and IELTS should you should met the target score, okay, or the accepted score by NMC. For OET, it should be B, except for writing, they lowered the score a bit, which is C plus. For IELTS, 6.5 for writing, and then 7 for reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Okay. So for OSCE, that stands for Objective Structured Clinical Examination. So basically for this one, you will be fully trained once you are there in the UK or after deployment. This is the first thing that you will do. You will be trained for your OSCE, and there will be 10 clinical scenarios which you have to pass. Okay, so you don't have to worry. With SG Recruitment, we don't have nurses going back or coming back home just because they failed OSCE and they have not become a registered nurse in the UK. It didn't happen from the time that we have started. Okay, so again, I'd like to stress the importance of everyone to enroll for our OET or IELTS. Okay, so we can be able to deploy in the UK in 2 to 3 months. Okay. For midwife qualifications, you must know it's similar, okay, to nurses. You need to have a license from your home country. We don't care if your diploma is only 2 years or a 3 years or a 4 years. Okay, I mean, if you're having a 4 years degree, that should be fine. But then we are accepting 2 years, okay, minimum for the diploma. For nurses, Diploma in nursing, which is equivalent to 3 years of nursing schooling, is accepted. And of course, BSN, if you're having masteral, that would be great as well. Okay, so we start with the 3-year diploma. And you need to also pass, for midwives, you also need to pass your OET or Ielts. And that's the reason why you also need to enroll or start from training from SG Recruitment. CVT, there is CVT for midwives, and we are also giving the reviewer for this. It comes along with the package for 1,000 dirhams for your OET training. And your OSCE will be taken in the UK with full training, and you will also be receiving your salary, okay, upon deployment in the UK. Once again, if you have not started your OET or IELTS, you should enroll after this discussion, so you can be able to kickstart your UKRN application. Okay, so we really cannot start until we decided to enroll for the training, because automatically you will be included in our pooling for both nurse applicants and then midwives applicants. We already have scheduled um, interview date, okay, for midwives, which will happen on the 30th. Same thing for pediatric nurses. And for the rest, you just need to wait, because we're having interviews 5 to 10 times per month, okay, because we are partnered with um, more than 10, NHS hospitals. We started with private hospitals as well for mental health nurses, and now be having we're soon to be having this senior carer position. Okay, so don't hesitate to start your application. The earlier you start, the better for you, because you'll be able to secure the position from the NHS. Okay, so to continue, how to become a UKRN, the cost. This is the most common questions or frequent questions that I often receive, okay, from our nurses and midwives, from all our applicants. You wouldn't have to be afraid, because SG Recruitment does not charge placement fees. There's no salary deduction. Okay, so the 1,000 dirhams, this is only to be able to cover the cost of the salaries of our trainers. Okay, because you know it, there's operational cost that is involved. And if you will compare our price in the market, especially in UAE market, most of the training companies here are charging 1,500 dirhams to train you for either IELTS or OET. But then they will just give you a 1-month training, or sometimes 50-hour training. Maximum is 2 months. But here we understand that you need more than that, but we don't really require you to complete 4 months. In fact, this is an offer, because our deal with our trainers is only 2 months. Okay, I'm just extending it because I know nurses for the last 4 years that I'm assisting you, okay, from training to recruitment. I know that your schedule is really very hectic, okay, and most of the time you're not able to attend your training, and that is the reason why I'm giving you an additional 2 months if you are going to enroll today. Okay, for IELTS it's going to be 3 months, but it will be a one-to-one coaching with your trainer. Okay, but for OET it's group, but you cannot expect that it will be a very very huge group. No, because your schedule differs from one another, and we provide a recording, so don't be so scared. Later on I will discuss to you the features and the inclusions of the OET and IELTS training. So for the cost, okay, I made it in pounds, but you do have a way. Of course, we can always, check the conversion. So the total cost would range from 603 pounds to 686 pounds. Okay. So what I will discuss will not include, to make it easier for us to understand. Okay. I will just discuss to you the total breakdown, okay, of the cost without the cost for the receipt or retaking the test. Okay, so we'll go to the actual breakdown of the costs. So with SG Recruitment, you're aware, okay, that you have to pay 1,000 for a 2 months training. But if you're enrolling now, it would be 4 months with CVT materials, okay, 2 months extension, automatic. But for all of you, I would really suggest that you take your test after you've done your mock test, because I mean, being trained for 1 month or 2 months would be enough if you are attending the lesson, answering the activities, if you're able to comply with all the assigned tasks to you, okay? And if you are performing very well, you'd be able to track it, by the way, because you will be given repeated mock tests, like up to 20 practices, okay, for you to be able to gauge where you are, or if you are progressing, or if how ready you are to take your exam for both OET or IELTS, okay? But ideally in 2 months, especially if your timeline for your application is only like 5 months or 6 months, okay, then be serious with your OET exam. But if you need more than that, then use the extension, okay? 4 months, to be honest, is quite a long time, and we just want to guarantee that you'd be able to pass your exam in your first attempt, okay? So usually, some nurses would, take the exam earlier than 4 months, okay? If ever only like you didn't meet the target score, you can come back if you completed only 2 months and you decided to take the test, but then you didn't expect that you will fail, or you got a C plus, okay, and you have to retake it and combine the score. Just tell me you haven't finished your training for 4 months, and you can come back to do a refresher course for you to be able to retake your exam, okay? Again. So the NMC documentation is only for Filipinos. If there are Filipinos here, midwives or nurses, okay, we provide NMC documentation service, nursing and midwifery council. So for this, we will include for the 670, it was reduced from 850, okay? So 670 would give you the documents. We will process NBI, PRC renewal, a marriage and birth certificate, we will provide that, and also state board verification, and that will include the shipping fee, okay? And if say for example your PRC ID is ready, you have to just pay 520 to process your state board verification, okay? And of course, that will include the NBI renewal once you pass your OET, and the shipping fee as well. Okay. But for non-Filipinos or foreign nationals, okay, you don't need to pay this, just 1,000, and we will guide you how to start your application with the NMC for all nationalities, okay? Because your documents, you have to process it, okay, from your country, not from the Philippines, and we don't have the option to give you that service, okay? So it's only 1,000 for you. Now your OET exam, take note of this, it's in Australian dollars, so depending on the conversion, and I mean here I've given 1,543, or let's say 1,550 for the exam, okay, of OET, which you will take, okay, or you will book only once you have the readiness. Let's say after 1 month, you will decide to book your OET after 2 months or 3 months, then do that, okay? And CVT, that will be 83 pounds or around 390 in dirhams. And for OET, CBT, and NMC, I just would like to tell you that it could be reimbursed to you by the client. So we have like 2 to 3 hospitals who is doing the reimbursement for OET exam, for CVT exam, and also for your NMC registration. NMC registration, this is like how you are doing your registration from the country you are practicing now. If say, for example, you are in Saudi, the Saudi Council, you are in UAE, the HAA, DOH, DHEC, all of this. I don't know in Jordan how you call your registration body, but in the UK, they have a registration body, a regulator for nurses and midwives, and we call that Nursing and Midwifery Council. So for that, you are paying 140 pounds just for you to open your account and register your details, upload the needed documents or the required documents. And that would be equivalent to around 650, 660 dirhams, depending on the currency. And like what I said, it can be reimbursed back to the nurse, okay, or to the midwives. You just need to keep the receipt, and you are not paying us this amount. The only thing you're paying is this 1,000 plus for Filipinos, if they need it, 520 and 670 on top of 1,000, okay? So the OSCE, that would be sponsored 100% by the client. the visa fees and air ticket is sponsored by the client as well. We're not taking any money other than the training fee. Okay, we're not allowed to do that. So here, the breakdown of cost, the actual cost, the summary. So if you are a Filipino applicant and you will attend our training and also um, and without the processing of NMC, that would be with the exam included, that would be AED 3,588. Okay, exam included, huh? Like the OET, the CVT, and your NMC registration, plus the 1,000 for the training. If you're a Filipino and you want to avail of the NMC documentation, the total cost would be AED 4,100. That is with NBI and State Board Verification processing. For AED 4,258, this includes the renewal for PRC, NBI, and also the birth certificate. We will also issue that, and marriage certificate and state board verification. Okay. If you are a foreign national, the only payment we will take from you is for training, which is AED 1,000, payable using credit or debit card, and that would be for up to 4 months if you want. Okay. Now, if you are a Filipino and you've been hired by the hospital, who's doing the providing the reimbursement, Filipino or non-Filipinos, international applicants, it's only 1,000 for with the reimbursement for OET, NMC, and CVT. Okay. Now, if you had purchased the documentation service for NMC and after the reimbursement, the total cost would only be 1,520 or 1,670. Again, this is for Filipinos. Okay. For non-Filipinos, 1,000 only after the reimbursement. I hope we are clear. Okay. Anyways, again, if you have questions, feel free to ask, raise your hand, or just send me a message in our chat room. Okay. And everything will be posted in our YouTube account. You can always review it from there. Now let's go back. I mean, let us continue. Okay. For the next thing that we have to discuss now is the OET, or the Occupational English Test. To be honest with you, I do not recommend Ielts to our nurses or midwives. Okay. I only recommend that if the nurse is located in a country where there is no OET testing sites or center. Why? Because as far as the statistics is concerned, OET is easier to pass as compared to Ielts, because this is clinical. This is for healthcare professionals. Okay. So here the training that we will provide is OET for nurses and midwives. Okay. So let's discuss further about the occupational English test. First, about the score I have discussed earlier, you need to obtain a grade of C+ in the writing section, again, only in the writing, okay? And a grade of B in the reading, listening, and speaking section. And depending on your choice, okay, you can be able to take OET on paper, on computer, or at home. For the at home, there are certain requirements you have to meet, and this is only for the applicants who are very far from the testing site. Okay, they can accommodate this OET at home. Now, about the combining or clubbing of OET test scores. Okay, so basically, these are two exams. Meaning you took the first exam, but then you failed and you have your lowest score is C+. No grade lower than C+ can be combined, right? So what are the rules? You can achieve the required mark across two sittings if you will sit or you will retake the test within 6 months of each other. You took the first OET on January, you should take it again if in case you failed and you got a C+ as your lowest score, but not in writing, you have to retake it within 6 months. So not later than June, else it will not be combined. It cannot be combined anymore. Okay. And next, you are tested in all 4 sections at the same time. Say, for example, okay, you got the reading, you got your score in reading is C+. It should be B. Yeah. Now, you plan to just retake reading. It's not acceptable. You have to retake everything, all the subtests, else it will not be accepted by NMC. Okay. Next, all grades in both sittings are above grade C plus, and you achieve at least a grade C plus in the writing section and at least a grade B in the reading, listening, and speaking section in either of the two test sittings. Again, for clubbing the score, it should be the score in your first and second test. It should be a combination of B and C plus only. I hope we are clear. Okay, I just would like to make it simple for you. Now, I will show you an example. The first exam was for listening C plus. What is the score that is required? It should be B. Okay, so reading is B, that's fine. Writing is B, even if it's C plus, yes, it's still acceptable, and then B. The nurse should retake it. The nurse or the midwife should retake it. Why? Because he failed in the listening part. It should be B. So what he did was he took another test for all sub-tests, and he did it within 6 months, okay, from the time that he took the first OET exam. And then the result was this, okay? B for listening, this is now an acceptable score, okay? B again for reading, even if it becomes C plus, that's still okay. Writing, it's C plus, okay? That's still acceptable. And then speaking, it's B. Even if he got C plus here, that would still be considered a pass OET score, okay? Now, if you want to do a screenshot, feel free to do so. Otherwise, you can just subscribe to our YouTube channel and just go back to the discussion, okay? I will be posting this orientation in our YouTube account. All right, so for IELTS, that stands for International English Language Testing System. And this is one of the options that we have. Now the score, it should be 7, 6.5 in writing and is acceptable. It's just like OET, but for reading, listening, and speaking, NMC will not accept a grade which is lower than 7. So paper tests, computer-based tests, it's acceptable. Okay, so how can you combine? It's the same thing as combining the score for OET. You should take it within 6 months of each other. And what? You should be tested in all 4 sections. And your score should not be lower than 6.5, okay? For you to be able to combine your IELTS score. Okay, so once again, I'd like to strongly suggest that you opt for OET than IELTS, because this is more challenging to pass unless you don't have option to take OET, or probably you have done IELTS before. So yes, depending on your case, you can choose to take IELTS than OET. For this one, this is the example of combining the score. The first score for the first exam was for listening, it's 7, reading 6.5, writing 6.5, 7 speaking. So you should retake it. Why? Because you got 6.5 in reading, it should be 7. Okay, writing 6.5 is okay. So for the test 2, the result for listening is 6.5, 7 for reading, and for writing it's 7.5 and 8 for speaking. So obviously this is now an acceptable score, okay, in the UK or with NMC. Next, we'll go to CVT. For CVT, it is the first test of competence, or the test of competence part 1, that is required by the Nursing and Midwifery Council. So it's a nursing knowledge test which helps nurses register with the Nursing and Midwifery Council of the UK. So we're discussing the test of competence 2021 for nurses and midwives, okay? So this is part 1 of the test of competence, and is which is CVT, computer-based test, okay? So with CVT, you can sit your CVT or OSCE in any order, but of course, commonly, you have to you are taking CVT first, because there's no option to take OSCE if you are not in the UK. So if you are an international applicant, you will take CVT first. So you have to complete both or you have to pass both exam, okay, to be able to get a registration as a UKRN, or to for you to be able to have your UK PIN in the UK. So the CVT test provider is Person View, and they have a testing center all over the world, or around the world in most countries. And we are giving you, SG Recruitment will be giving you I mean guide on how to book your CVT exam. Okay. For this one, what you could expect is that the exam will be having two parts. This is the 2021 TOC. Okay. So part one will be all about drag calculation or numeracy. That would be 15 items. Part two will cover clinical questions, which is related to nursing and midwifery. So here, for part A, it would be 30 minutes, okay, duration. And then for the clinical exam, 2 hours and 30 minutes. But most of you are able to finish CBT exam in 50 minutes. Okay, it's really very easy, and no one is failing, and we are giving reviewer. Okay, so we already have discussed the fee, which is £83. Okay, now for this one, you do have the option to register for any of the following. If you are practicing as an adult nurse, you will choose that in the NMC. By the way, we have the tutorial on how to start your registration, initial registration. It's already out in our YouTube account. And you have I will be releasing the second part. I'm just having a challenge because it's a dummy account, and I'm giving you the actual way, or the actual tutorial on how to do it in the NMC portal or website. Okay, so to continue, what are our other options? Of course, you can choose mental health nurses. Now, SG Recruitment is hiring mental health nurses, and we need 200. Okay, this is open to all nationalities. Learning disabilities, not yet hiring for that. Children's nurse, yes, we will start for pedia, and the client is requiring that all PG nurses will register for children's nurse or RNC. And of course, midwife, RM. You have to select that in the drop down. Okay, once you start your NMC registration or application. How would you prepare for the CVT? You don't have to worry, because as soon as you pay, I will be sending you materials for CVT. So these are just some of the suggested reading materials, like the code, the test of competence 2021, and the test of competence 2021 preparation materials. But I'll send you, I'll share with you the updated materials for CVT. Practice test. Okay, you have practice tests on Person View website, which is accessible to everyone. You don't need to book that. Okay, so just check Person View. Verifying your identity. It's important that your passport is valid. You have to bring it with you at the time of your exam. Okay. For the result, you will receive 2 certificates. It's a pass or fail result for each part of the test. Part A, which is numeracy, and Part B, which is clinical. You can check your CVT results in the exam report given to you after you have taken your CVT, or you wait for your Person View account within 48 hours after you've taken your CVT, and then just click on the relevant exam entry in the exam history section. Okay, so that's how you are going to check your result for CVT. Okay. Next, let's move on. I think this one is done. Okay, so if in case only that you have to rewrite your CVT, basically you only need to receipt the part that you have failed. Okay, because it's Part A, Part B. Okay, now Part A and Part B, they are taken together in a single sitting, but are passed or failed independently. Okay, so you only need to receipt the part that you have failed. Each sitting counts as an attempt. Okay, so you have, say for example, you have 3 attempts as part of your 1 application, with a minimum of 10 days between each sitting. So you can take it for up to 3 times, but for most of you, you are not repeating or resitting for the test. So after 3 failed attempts, your application will close and you will need to wait for 6 months to submit a new application and sit the CVT again. All right. So for the Nursing and Midwifery Council, like what I said, we will be having the tutorial, but then just very briefly, just want to introduce that, Nursing and Midwifery Council, NMC, it's the page or a portal where all nurses and midwives or healthcare professionals should go to register their application. So there will be a verification of your home country license, and this is part of the process. Only after they have received the verification or they have done the verification, only then they would allow you um, to continue or to take the TOC or test of competence or your CVT. So the Nursing and Midwifery Council, that's the regulator for nursing and midwifery professions in the United Kingdom. They maintain a register of all nurses, so all of you will be there, midwives and specialist community public health nurses, and nursing associates eligible to practice within the UK. So for this one, everything, all of these things can be accessed or available for you in the NMC website. Okay, so just type in www.nmc.org.uk. So in the NMC, you'd be able to view your registration status, make the payment, find out your renewal date, submit your revalidation. Everything that you're able to see there is found in the NMC portal. Okay. So how you would register? For this, I will skip this part because you will have to watch a tutorial on how to register. It's a step-by-step process, okay? So I'd rather skip this one so I won't confuse everyone, okay? Because there you'll be able to see the actual tutorial. Here, you won't be able to understand clearly. So better you check the other blog in my YouTube account. So let's just skip that part. But also we are here to guide you, especially for everyone, okay, not only Filipinos. We are sending you a form or like a guide, so you have a support. This is like you will see the link and then you will see the step-by-step process on how to register, okay? And on the tutorial you'll be able to see the demonstration on how to be able to do it in actual, okay? So next we'll discuss all about the OSCE. For the OSCE, okay, this is the TOC, part 2, okay? And for this one, there's no option to take it outside of the UK as of now. Okay. So this, like what I said, this stands for Objective Structured Clinical Examination for nurses and midwives. We also have tutorials in YouTube, okay? And however, it's not in my own account. So I'll try to do something to be able to provide it to everyone. But if you have questions, just let me know. Okay, I'm available anyway in WhatsApp. You can easily contact me. So OSCE, again, if we have CVT, for international nurses, the 2 exams that you have to take is OET or Ielts and then CVT. OSCE should be taken in the UK. So this is part 2 of the test of competence for nurses and midwives. And this is basically a practical test, a test on your clinical knowledge and communication skills. You can sit for your CVT or OSCE in any order, but you need to pass both parts to complete your registration or NMC application for your initial registration or readmission. Once you pass, what you could expect is that upon deployment, while you are in UK, you'll be trained for OSCE. And there will be support groups, so you wouldn't have to be afraid. And we don't have nurses who failed OSCE and came back to their country. It didn't happen, okay? So this is part of the process, but I can assure you, I can guarantee that no one is failing this test. Everyone will get their UK PIN after deployment, okay? So for this one, this will be explained to you by your OSCE trainer, just, giving you an idea. They have this API, APIE, one station for assessment, planning, implementation, and evaluations. These are 4 stations that are linked together around the scenario. So these 4 stations is to test your skills, okay? 2 pairs of 2 skills. 2 new stations will assist the candidates' values and the behaviors and evidence-based practice, okay? SG Recruitment will soon open its OSCE testing center, and maybe I could provide sample as soon as we start operating in the UK. So just watch out for that, okay? So for the fees, it is shouldered, but then just an FYI for your information only, it's £794. And if you will receipt, it will be, if it's not covered by the employer, then it will cost you £397 if you need to receipt uh, uh, for OSCE, okay? But I just wanna, you know, reassure you it's free with us. Receipting, not for all, okay? So for receipting the OSCE, candidates can take OSCE for a maximum of 3 attempts as part of their application, but there's a waiting period for at least 10 days between each sitting, okay? Now we'll go to the question and answer. I know you have questions of your own, but then let me just go through the question and answer. First question is, can I apply to UK even without experience? The answer is yes, because NMC accepts and approves application from nurses who does not have nursing experience, even fresh graduates, and but with a valid nursing license. Okay. Can I take CVT first before taking OET? Again, let me explain our process. SG Recruitment allows or is encouraging nurses and midwives to start registering for NMC to be able to get the ATT for the CVT. We don't want to wait for your result for OET before we tell you to start your CVT. Okay, we want you to be we want you to take your CVT first, especially if you are in Saudi or if you are in other countries. Sometimes the booking of exam is so much, you know, delayed. And that is the reason why, because here we are racing against time, especially if you have a contract and your contract will soon be over. So we are, as much as possible, we want to do it at the same time while you're training for OSCE, sorry, OET or Ielts is ongoing. You will open your NMC account with our guidance, and we will do the verification if you'll ask us to for Filipinos. So it would be faster. And as soon as you get the authorization to test, you can go ahead and do the booking for your exam for person view, CVT, and you will be prepared for it because we are going to give you the reviewer. Okay, so that it's valid anyway for 2 years. Same thing with your English exam. So that once you are done, okay, with your CVT, with your OET, you will be ready for deployment. Okay, this is the reason why we want you to do it at the same time. Okay, because once you pass your OET or IELTS, we will send your application to our employer, and then after signing the contract, you will be we will get your papers for the work permit. We will request the work permit from our employer, and then once we receive your COS or work permit, we will advise you to, for visa appearance. We will process the visa appearance. Once we get the approval, then we will book your ticket and arrange the accommodation and deploy you. Again, the timeline, if you still have to start your OET, our timeline is only 5 months. Maximum would be 7 to 8 months, but normal time frame is 5 to 6. Even if we give you the training for 4 months. Why? Because your CVT will be done first, and you can focus on your OET. You decide to take it in 2 months or 3 months. After 2 weeks, you'll have the result. We'll give you the interview. You sign the offer letter, and we submit all the papers to our deployment team. And the processing of the visa, waiting of the work permit is only like 2 weeks to 1 month. Processing of the visa would be 1 month. We'll get you to UK in 2 to 3 months with your family. Okay? Does SG Recruitment accept international applicants? Yes. Okay. Is SG Recruitment processing application from nurses based in the Philippines? The answer is yes. We have our Philippine office, and it is called GHR Healthcare Recruitment. We are a POA licensed agency. For Filipinos, they know what POEA means. Okay. Can I attend interview without having OET or Ielts? Even if you send me your CV million times, I cannot do anything about it. Not until you met the requirements or your papers are ready. So it's a no. We are not doing recruitment for nurses who doesn't have OET or IELTS. This is very critical because we know CVT is very easy for you to accomplish or pass. So it's a big no. That's the reason why I always post that you start. I always encourage nurses to start or midwives to start their OET or IELTS. So you can be able to focus. If you are already doing the OET or IELTS training, you would know what to expect after a few months. Yeah, because like what I said, our timeline from start to finish is only 5 months. There are even candidates or nurses who were able to complete the application to only 4 months. Okay. Do I pay placement or recruitment fees to the agency who will process my application? No. Okay. There are other agencies who are going to tell you you're going to spend money first and then everything will be reimbursed. No, we're not doing that. Except for your exams, because we don't know if you are going to pass or not, right? Not until you take them. And we need qualified applicants. And that is the reason why we do not cover, no agency will cover OET, but OET or CVT, but they are willing to reimburse. Okay, some of them. That's why we can offer you the reimbursement. You just need to keep the receipt. Okay, but absolutely, there's no charges for administration fee or even the processing fee. I could say just the training fee, and there's no placement fee. There's no salary deduction. I could assure you that. Who shoulder visa and ticket fees? It is sponsored by the client. So if an agency or an individual, a recruiter tells you or asks you to pay for your visa and ticket fees, do not accept it. Okay, because it's absolutely illegal. There are, I know some agencies who will tell you, okay, you will shoulder these fees and all, even the ticket and visa, and then they will be reimbursed once they are there in UK. But why would you choose that when you can have everything for free? Yeah, we do not collect anything other than training fee, other than uh other than your documentation processing if you want. Okay, for us to be processed, because it will do you good. It's hassle free, it's smooth, and uh I mean, you are assured that your documents are being processed properly, okay, to avoid delays in your application. Is there a relocation package? Yes, the employer will provide you a free accommodation. For some, it's 1 month. For some, it's 1.5 months. And for others, it's 3 months, okay? How long does the whole application last? Again, 5 to 6 months, including the training. Okay, if you are already a passer, then it would only be like 2 to 3 months. But then again, we start from the training. Okay, so that's the normal time frame we give. What is the visa for nurses and midwives? We will provide a skilled worker visa. It allows you to come or stay in the UK to do an eligible job with an approved employer. Your visa would be that, and this also allows you to bring your family or dependents, spouse and children below 18 years of age. So there goes the number 11 question. If you could bring your family to the UK at the time of deployment, the answer is yes. Your partner and children can apply to join you even at the time of deployment. Okay, and if their application is successful, we process this. You're only paying, I think, 600, okay, per head, for us to be able to process with no rejection. The actual cost of the visa, that's in dirhams, by the way. The actual cost of the visa and ticket will be shouldered by you and will be booked by you, not us. Okay, we don't charge for this. So this is for the dependents. All right. You will shoulder the visa, the ticket, and accommodation for your dependents, because the client or the hospital will only bear the cost of your expenses. Okay, relocation expenses. How much money is needed to support the family? So this is in the UKBI page, which you will be able to see in Google. If you want, if you need the link, let me know. Your partner and children must have a certain amount of money available to support themselves while they are in the UK. You or your partner or child will need this much amount. Okay, it's very less. £285 for the partner, 315 pounds for one child, and 200 pounds for each additional child. So it would be around, it's ranging in the rams like 1,500, 1,200 maybe to 1,500 per head. And no one goes abroad if they don't have money in their pocket or in their bank. Yeah. So and for most of our employers, they don't require this. Okay. So but if in case, just be ready and just leave some money in your account. Okay. Educational requirement for nurses. For nurses, as I have said earlier, 3-year diploma is accepted for nursing, or a bachelor degree, okay, which is a 4-year course. For midwives, yes, a 2-year diploma is okay. If you have a bachelor degree, that would be better. I think we are done. Okay, so now for announcement of our job opportunities, as I have said, we are hiring every month. Okay, so first, again, I would like to reiterate that without you starting the training for OET or IELTS, nothing will happen. There will be no movement in your application. And please do not ask me what's the status of your application if you have not started approaching me for your training. Please do not do that, okay? Because I would like to repeat, nothing will happen unless you start your uh, training for OET and IELTS, because we will just wait for you to pass your OET and or IELTS, and then we'll give you the interview and we'll start the processing from there. Okay, so why you have to choose SGT? SGT is Sumner Group Training. This is our training provider. Why? Because we have 5 high caliber trainers, okay, and their pass rate is 95%, because we were able to perfect the training program, okay, over the years. We are already 8 years in the business. Daily live lectures, which is, there's no rest for them, okay, because we have 5. Sure, they're having their own rest day, but I mean, for the training, we do not stop, okay, from Mondays through Sundays, we are providing you the training, okay? And it's all recorded, so if you miss it, because usually it's in the daytime, the live lectures, if you miss it, there's a portal access for each and every one, for every student, wherein you'd be able um, to access the training, or the replays of the lessons that you had missed. We have speaking and writing focus coaching, all right? Because we understand how challenging it is to pass these 2 skills. And that is the reason why we're going to provide you this. One-to-one coaching will be given as well, especially if the training is, I'm sorry, if the exam is already booked for both IELTS and OET. So don't worry about that, okay? And mock tests, these are practices, or it's mirroring the actual exam for OET. So you'll have it up to 20, and the record, your scores will be recorded, so we can be able to track your progress, and of course know your preparedness for the exam, and encourage you to book the test, okay, like depending on your progress. And your trainer would be able to, I mean, is going to talk to you about it, okay. 24-hour access to recorded lessons or replays. Okay, I discussed that earlier. Limited access to masterclass and videos, because you'll be having your own access for the class 365, and these materials would be there, will be available there. Sorry. Best of all, we are providing CVT materials, okay, the updated version, and no wonder we don't have nurses failing because of this, okay. And NMC application assistance goes to for everyone. You just need to approach me and tell me I'm ready to book my NMC or to start my NMC application so I can take the CVT exam. Just let me know. Why choose SGR, or SG Recruitment, Assured Recruitment Agency? First, we provide smooth and fast and thorough assistance. Okay, and most of us are actually serving the company long time, serving our client. Like in my case, I'm already 4 years here, some 8 years, 7 years. Okay, and we are a team located in 3 countries. We are in UK, we are in UAE, and we are in the Philippines. Okay, so we will assist you A to Z. And what do I mean from A to Z? From start to finish. And this will cover, of course, from training to rebranding your CV, coaching you for an interview. Yes, we do that. And of course, we have the deployment assistance, wherein we will give you advice about the documents you have to prepare for immigration, not only for you but for your family. And we always give accurate information, by the way. So you can trust us with this. You are in good hands. Okay, next, pre-visa ticket and accommodation. Of course, okay, you are not going to ask you to book your visa or your ticket. We'll just advise you, okay, go to the visa center or BFS, and I mean, for your visa appearance. That's the only thing we will request you, but no money involved, because we're going to pay it on your behalf. We refund your OET, IELTS, and CVT exam. I already have discussed that. So just keep all the receipts. We have certain hospitals who's doing the reimbursement with lots of choices. So we have NHS Trust, we have private hospitals, care homes. Okay, we have really choices when it comes to employers. And SGR deploys nurses and midwives together with their families. Okay, so this is actually one of the best thing we can offer you. We don't want your family left behind. Okay, we understand um, the importance of being together as a family wherever you go. Okay, we accept applicants with work gaps and no clinical experience. Yes, we give chance, even the ones working for hotels, school, the ones working as admin, the ones who don't have, the ones who has zero experience. Okay, you are all welcome. Okay, we have options for you, and we give career advice. It's not only about, you know um, taking you as our recruit or as our trainee. No, we give career advice. So just trust us with this, and you can encourage also the ones who don't have the experience to, so long as they are, so long as they are registered nurses or midwives, they can come to us. Okay, all right, so we also offer Nplex training if your CV is qualified, if you will enroll, and if you are having the following specialty areas, like if you are doing med surge, nursing, telemetry, ICU, HDU, ER, hemodialysis, send your CV upon enrolling, and I will endorse you for free Nplex. This is full sponsorship, immigrant visa or green card visa, and it's going to be fast processing because it will be premium processing with 4,000 USD signing bonus. Okay, while you are in UK, you can wait for your petition with your family. Okay, I hope I made you happy if you are really planning that after UK can go to USA. Next, PG nurses, please. Okay, if you have referrals, let me know. Okay, I wouldn't mind you calling. I wouldn't mind you messaging me any time of the day to refer your friends, midwives, nurses. Okay, especially PIJA. We have the interview even for midwives. For this one, I don't have the final date yet, but I was asked to just pull for radiographers, but it's a different, process. It's an HCPC registration, and we'll have another talk about that. Okay. Midwives, please. Okay, I'm calling once again. We really need, especially the ones who has the registration, start your training now, please. We are now, UK is now open to hire midwives. Okay, so once again, I just repeated. And if you have friends in the UK, we are hiring locally as well in the UK for the following positions. You can just, just feel free to send my number to them and the YouTube account. All right, so is still, it's continuous hiring for the following. Royal is our client, Royal Berkshire. We are hiring on the 30th. We have leads. We have a private hospital. We will disclose only to qualified applicants. And of course, we have immigrant visa for US or NCLEX passers, or the ones who would like to avail of the free NCLEX and be petitioned in the US after 1.5 to 2 years. It's fast now. Okay, no cost involved for US. Okay. So I guess that's it for today, and I'd like to thank everyone. And of course, I'm expecting that out of this 11 or 12, they will be signing up for the OET or IELTS, else we cannot really proceed with your application. All right. So please subscribe to our channel. That is our channel, SG Recruitment channel, Leonila, your UKRN Cicerone. And it will help you a lot. Okay. It will help your friends a lot who are pursuing their career to UK or USA. Already. So now